Hello, welcome back to this video series about alcohol and alcohol problems. My name is Kristen, and today's video is going to be about tolerance. And if you're watching these videos, you're probably already aware or familiar with the term tolerance, and you probably understand that over time, if someone drinks regularly, it will take more alcohol to achieve the same effects that less alcohol was able to achieve initially for that person. But there's much more to it than that, and I'm going to show how the systems we talked about in the last video, the stress response system and the reward or dopamine system, are also involved with the brain's excitation system, which uses the chemicals glutamate and GABA to maintain a kind of a homeostasis of, say, the speed of the brain. Okay, so how much it's aroused or how excited it is. So it kind of works right along with this homeostasis that we talked about last time. So in a normal situation, or say a regular healthy body that isn't having a problem with alcohol, there is a maintenance of a balanced, we could say, an idle speed. So if we said GABA kind of is like the brakes, it kind of causes slower speeds, so there's more of the rest and relaxation there, and the gas pedal is the glutamate, and that would speed things up and be able to help with that stress response that we need at times. Okay, so these all work together and they reinforce each other. And there's certainly a lot going on, much beyond just the idea that, it takes more alcohol to get the same effect, or, I can handle a lot of alcohol. I can handle alcohol better. That isn't really a good way to look at it because tolerance actually is causing lots of problems for you. It's actually reinforcing the drinking to continue, and I'll show you how that works. So like I said, the GABA is more like the brakes. It's the calm down system, and the glutamate chemical is released to wake up or give wake up signals. And normally these excitation levels would be balanced, and this is speaking again before there's any regular drinking taking place. And then with the stress response system, it's responding to actual threats. Hopefully then it's shutting off when the stress is over. But we talked about how in many people, not even people with alcohol problems, I think this is kind of like we have a problem in society in general. Their baseline is more of an allostatic set point where they're kind of riding over here with a sense of more stress, more threat, and things like that on a regular basis. And then we have the reward system, of course, that is going to respond to many activities in life, and it's going to give you that signal that, this is a good thing to do, and this gave you a feeling of satisfaction. Remember that. And it just works like that. Now, when you drink, alcohol is going to boost the brakes. It's going to step on the brakes hard, right? So say you're someone who's riding over here, you're kind of always anxious, you're not comfortable most of the time, you're feeling a lot of pressure. Maybe you're, like I said, a perfectionist or something, or you're highly competitive because you think you have to be. When you drink alcohol, it's going to force that set point artificially. It's going to put the brakes on. There's going to be a release of that GABA. It's going to suppress the glutamate. Okay, so it's going to say, no, we don't need the gas pedal right now. Alcohol's going in, and the gas pedal don't work now. Okay, it's not really going to do anything right now. So alcohol then moves that set point over, and it provides a lot of relief, especially if someone is always feeling not so great in life. So then we get a reward for that in the brain. There's relief, and so it feels good, and then there's dopamine to signal that and to remember it. And so over time, what's developing here, if you continue to repeat that experience, right, the GABA signal continues to get artificially boosted by alcohol, and the brain is noticing that. So now the brain is saying, we've got to downregulate this because it's going too low. Because the brain's like, this is our set point. That's what the brain thinks. This is our set point, or it knows it, because it's been operating for you your whole life. So it says, we keep going too low here. So what we're going to do is we're going to desensitize the GABA system here. It's going to turn down that receptor sensitivity for GABA. And it's going to definitely increase glutamate production because it has to compensate for the fact that alcohol keeps kicking this, what the brain thinks is too low. Okay? So it's going to push that up in general. So now, and also dopamine. Remember, dopamine's over here doing its thing. It's having pathways getting strengthened for alcohol specifically. It's possibly downplaying production when you do other things that are in life that should have created a dopamine response, but now you're kind of just signaling for alcohol because there is such a big sense of relief when you take it in. It's quite noticeable. If anxiety and stress is a big problem for you emotionally, and alcohol is providing like kind of a huge relief, dopamine is going to be more readily produced and given to you, so that you continue to have this alcohol going in and having that reinforced. So it's kind of like a special reward. It's learning that. And again, it's developing that sensitivity to cues in your environment, like I had explained in the last video. You're going to notice things that are correlated for you to alcohol use. You're going to be thinking about it more and things like that. So you're going to need to drink more to feel the same relaxation you used to get. The effects won't last as long. Your liver is also going to start sort of getting better at breaking it down. It's going to produce more enzymes. It's going to get faster at it because it has to. And between drinking episodes, you're going to feel more on edge than you used to. Just more negative feeling states. So then, and this is what keeps this thing going in that direction, right? Because now the brain is literally changing, and it's causing you to feel real feelings, and it's causing you to have to make changes in your behavior to accommodate the changes in your body and in your brain. So you can see how it just gets reinforced. It's like spiraling downward. Okay, so let's say you're on this road here of the progression of alcoholism or the process of this problem, and you're definitely struggling with it. Okay, so let's just say you're somewhere over here. You're definitely on it. Okay, you're struggling. It's not just a maybe I have a problem, maybe I don't. It's kind of like, let's just say you have a problem because you can't stop even though you want to. So now your brain's made major changes to compensate for the alcohol going in. The GABA receptors are significantly downregulated. They're much less sensitive. It's going to take a lot more to cause you to be able to relax naturally. Glutamate production is now very much upregulated. It's kind of chronically elevated. So now, this set point is now probably moved over here. Okay, so things are feeling worse for you, more threatening in general, in a sense. So now this new baseline is you're wired, you're overstimulated when alcohol is absent. Okay, so it's not just that your brain adapts to alcohol, it's now adapted to expect it, because now your body, with all these changes that have happened, it's starting to need alcohol to maintain this set point, right? So your stress system is also being affected here, right? Like we talked about last time, it's dysregulated now. So now it is also saying, yeah, we need to get this chronically, like, over here now. This is where we're at. And so these compound each other. And then again, the reward system all the while is demoting all the natural things that would cause you to be able to relax or get that sense of reward or that sense of motivation to do things. It's just all the natural things in life that the brain was maybe finally tuned to. It's not working anymore. So we need more alcohol to then get dopamine produced to activate it. And the relief that we experience then when we're at this level is so great now, because the contrast is so great. I mean, it used to, like, let's say, it used to be that, yeah, we felt good when we drank alcohol, but now it's like we feel terrible if we don't, right? So now it's like, it's such a great relief. Then dopamine is all the more so going to really just kind of focus in on that one solution to your problem of stress and anxiety and just feeling bad, because it's bringing relief. Less pleasure, more relief. So I'm trying to think, let's see what else here. And then, now let's say if the drinking continued and then we're entering into the dependence mode, where we've crossed this threshold here, and now we're physically dependent, or we're getting physically dependent. There's going to be those signs, shaking hands, elevated heart rate in the morning, or elevated heart rate when you're not drinking. So high anxiety, feeling revved up, might be some sweating when alcohol wears off. So now it's much more severe in terms of how much these systems have changed. The brain chemistry, like I said, it's now truly depending on alcohol to maintain any balance. And then withdrawal is now dangerous, because the excitation system here is out of control, because now glutamate, if we don't get alcohol, now there's going to be an excitation of the brain with all this glutamate flooding the brain, and that's what can start to cause things like seizures, because the neurons are firing wildly with no inhibition anymore, unless we can get alcohol into the body. And yeah, the GABA system can't even come close at this point. Okay, the brain's just hyperexcitable, and so then we get more into, as time goes by and someone's physically dependent, the symptoms are just getting worse. There's real tremors and shaking, severe anxiety, really rapid heart rate, high blood pressure, seizures possibly, and delirium tremens, where there's like confusion and hallucinations and things like that. So this threshold could be said to be irreversible. I mean, I'm tending to believe that because I haven't seen a person be able to resume drinking without becoming physically dependent again. However, these systems can they can recover. You know, they can definitely get better. There's a lot you can do to bring that balance back, that natural balance. But the adapted state that we just talked about, the brain remembers that. So it's kind of like after many years of building that highway, the highway's there. You could take the cars off it, you could stop drinking, but the highway remains, right? Just because there's no cars on it doesn't mean the highway disappears. It's right there. So that's why if you drink again, it's going to rapidly re-engage that compensated pattern. Okay. So, and maybe that's just about all we need to. We could get into really end stage alcoholism. Basically, things just continue to get worse at that point. And, but actually, one point I might mention is that, you know, when someone is in a severely dependent state and it's been that way for quite a while, which some people live like that for many years, right? But it takes quite a bit of alcohol to feel anything different, and so it's like a person has to consume amounts that would bring them close to death almost, you know, alcohol poisoning, just because their bodies require so much just to achieve any of the balance their body is seeking. If that makes sense. So I'm just looking at my notes here. Yeah, so I think that pretty much explains tolerance and how all these things work together to reinforce a person's drinking. And you could, if you think about it, if you imagine this all working in a person's body like this, you could see how the way they think is going to be affected, right? Because they're feeling very specific ways as this is getting worse and worse and more reinforced. So then, you know, if you have had any experience with someone who has a serious problem with alcohol, it can be maddening to you. It could be so frustrating to you that they say the things they say, or that they continue to make arguments that don't make any sense to you. But there's a reason why that kind of thinking and that kind of arguing and that kind of defending drinking and minimizing it would arise in their body, right? In that whole body-mind system that has now been so out of balance. Does that make sense? I'm hoping it does. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful and informative. And I will be making more videos about this topic. So thanks for watching.